Chair, members of the committee. Good evening, Chair, members of the committee. Adam Smith, City Manager's Office, here today with an item on the Oxnard Farm Park. The recommendation is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommends that the City Council, 1, conduct a public hearing and consider the summary report prepared pursuant to California Government Code Section 52201. 2, adopt a resolution and approve the purchase and sale agreement between the City of Oxnard and the Oxnard Historic Farm Park Foundation for the sale of the Gottfried Malhart Albert Filer farm site. And 3, approve the attached budget appropriation recognizing revenue from the sale of the farm park. Many years ago, the greater Oxnard Plain was home to farms, ranches, and homesteads, establishing the area's agricultural industry. It's probably only a handful of these historical relics still in the city, and the farm park is one of them. Over time, many were demolished, making way for housing tracts and business parks, while others just simply disappeared over the years. Properties like the Oxnard Farm Park serve as witnesses to the city's past. A little background on the farm park itself. It's about 0.86 acres, city-owned property, and it has the 1870s era Albert Filer house, the carriage house, a courtyard patio, a bathhouse, plants and gardens, a barbecue pit, farm equipment, and public restrooms. The farm park currently offers space for informational tours, site rentals, special events, and photos and machinery from Oxnard's farming history. And in July 2004, the City Council adopted a resolution which formalized the farm park's historical status, and it's currently Ventura County Landmark number 165. Since June 2007, the city has been in a lease and operating agreement with the nonprofit foundation, and the foundation is dedicated to preserving, restoring, and improving the property. Under the current agreement, the city leases the property to the foundation for $1 a year, and the agreement renews automatically annually. As presented to the council back in October of 2019, the Public Works staff were not actively administering the agreement. Improvements and projects were supposed to be approved by Public Works staff, but weren't. And then funds raised by the foundation through their nonprofit were to be given to the city to be used for these projects. However, in the practice, that didn't happen. It should be noted that city staff have no reason to believe, and there's no evidence to suggest that the money wasn't spent on the projects of the farm park, but rather the work was not done according to the process that was spelled out in the agreement. Due to the lack of oversight with the agreement, staff back in October 2019 presented 3 options to council. 1 was continuing with the existing agreement, 2, drafting a new lease and operating agreement, or 3, selling the farm park to the foundation. After the October 2019 staff presentation to council directed staff to sell the farm park. In March 2020, at the onset of the COVID pandemic, staff obtained an appraisal for the farm park, which was funded by the foundation. The appraisal concluded that the value of the park was, and the land, to be $550,000. However, the appraisal also concluded that the highest and best use of the property as it currently sits was its continued use as a cultural site and recreational use, with the most likely buyer being a local municipality or a non-profit public entity. The purchase and sale agreement that the city and the foundation have agreed to would sell the farm park to the foundation for $50,000, which would be paid in $10,000 installments over 5 years. The city would place reversionary rights in the title, which basically means that if the property ever was not a historical landmark that was open to the public, the title would go back to the city. Every year, the foundation's to present the city a work plan for the farm park's continued restoration, renovation, and improvements, and that would last over 10 years, and we would value this at $500,000, which could include sweat equity, working hours, the time people spent on working on improvements, permits, grants, and fundraising. And there's an annual report to the city on the status of that work plan. In addition, the foundation is to provide the city annual IRS Form 990s and a nonprofit report to the city. And the foundation is to obtain state of California landmark status. Now, pursuant to California Government Code Section 52201, any city or county may sell or lease a property to create an economic opportunity. And before this can be completed, however, the sale agreement or other instrument, in this case it's a sale agreement, must first be approved by the legislative body like the City Council by resolution after a public hearing. And a 52201 report requires staff to submit a summary report of the sale agreement, which is attached to the staff report. Financial impact: under the purchase and sale agreement, the city will receive $10,000 a year for 5 years for a total purchase price of $50,000. Payments will be received by the city on the anniversary date of the sale agreement, and proceeds from the sale will be deposited into the general fund. So to conclude, the recommendation is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommends that the City Council, 1, conduct a public hearing and consider the summary report prepared pursuant to California Government Code Section 52201, 2, adopt a resolution and approve purchase and sale agreement number A8295 between the city and the foundation for the sale of the farm park, and 3, approve the attached budget appropriation recognizing revenue from the sale of the farm park. And with that, I am open to any questions you may have. Thank you.